Hey there, it is David
Hey,
TheaterMania here. Hi, Jelani. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It is Monday, August 24th. This month flew by.
Summer,
Yeah,
baby. Summer flew by.
yeah.
It was like it was winter, it was spring, and now it's almost fall. Like it's kind of like,
Unbelievable.
yeah.
Well, we are here because you just announced the launch of your latest venture. It's a production company called Dumont Millennial Production.
Yep.
Uh, and there will be a live stream reading to kick it off on Thursday night. The play is called Goodnight, Tyler by B.J. Tindal. So first things first, tell me about the company.
Well, I had the vision for this way back, I guess, when I started Frozen, of having a place where I can create the stories that I want to see in the world, the stories that I feel that in our business, stories that are lacking,
Yeah,
particularly in the theater world. Stories that explore the ups and downs, the challenges, the triumphs of people of color as first generation Americans. That's really what I want my production company to be about. And it's about exploring different mediums. So it's not just theater. It's also going to be TV shows. It's also going to be movies. It could be IGTV movies. There's these all, it's called millennial because the millennials, when we grew up in this weird hybrid of like not really having all the technology that exists today, but still being introduced to the internet. And so having this way of connecting to the world that is right in the palm of our hands on a little device, we can create movies on that. We can connect to anyone on that through social media. And so I'm looking to merge all of those things and make powerful, meaningful, inspiring, uplifting, energizing art.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Tell me about like what you learned creating the company. Not even like casting or reading or picking the play, just like what you learned about building this thing from the ground up.
Yeah, it's a business. It's all a business, and it takes patience, and it also takes uh kind of acquire, and I had to learn a lot. I had to spend a lot of time reading about producing, about what that means, producing for different mediums, what that means, learning, the IRS terms and the paperwork and the financial things of getting the bank in order and getting the business account open and learning what the limits are and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
That are also exciting to me because like I said, this is a business. And so I am excited that I have that knowledge now. And as I go forward, I get to use it to grow my company. And right now it's a one-man operation, but in 10 years, I imagine it being many, many people, 100 plus,
Yeah.
So I'm excited to plant the seed for something that I hope will grow over time. And I'm excited about Goodnight, Tyler in particular. It's a play that a great friend, Kent Gash, who's also directing the show, did a production of it at the Alliance Theater last year. And he sent me the script to read it, and I fell in love with this play. And you would think that this play was written 2 weeks ago, but it was actually written over a year ago. And it's about a young man named Tyler. And it's a ghost story, essentially, of a Black boy who wants to be remembered for who he is rather than how he died. I think right now, especially as we've witnessed the murder of George Floyd, of Ahmaud Arbery, of Breonna Taylor, we are looking at these Black bodies that are leaving this world, but yet somehow we're not remembering all the things that they did while they were here. We're just remembering that they become these icons, these symbols, these hashtags. And this play unpacks, what's beyond that. Actually, what are the qualities of the person, of that body that's lying on the ground? And how do the loved ones of this young man cope with his death and the dividing of his belongings and the separation that it takes to understand the act of what happened to him, yet celebrating who he is in full.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny. I feel like you see like hashtags about like Breonna Taylor so often that you often lose sight of the fact that like this woman was a first responder who was
Right.
in her own house,
Right.
doing nothing.
And then can you tell me like, what her childhood achievements were? Like, no,
Right.
we see her as this symbol. And it's sad that the narrative of these Black lives being lost is still continuing on.
Yeah.
It's a horrifying reality of being an American right now.
Yeah. Forever.
Yeah. And so I think this play can offer some healing. I do. I think it can offer us a place to come together as a community to understand through the empathetic power of art what it's like to step into the shoes of a young man like Tyler and experience what he might be going through watching us react to his death. And so
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's and BJ's writing, man.
I'll bet.
And Kent's direction, and then we have some amazing actors. We have Danielle Deadweiler, who was in P-Valley and Watchmen. We have Johanna Brady, who was in Quantico. We have Alex Gibson, who people know from Octet and SpongeBob SquarePants. Jack Quaid, who's in this amazing TV show, The Boys. He was also in The Hunger Games. He also went to NYU with me. And Michelle Shea, Tony
legendary Michelle Shea.
Legendary. I mean, I got so lucky to that all these people agreed to work with me on my inaugural production.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Did you always want to be a producer, or was like, when did you realize that this was something that you were interested in?
It's interesting because I feel like back in high school, right, when I first experienced theater and I first was like, oh, what is this weird, obscure thing that everybody seems to love? Let me get it.
You're a New York kid, right? You grew up here in the city.
Yeah, I was born in Brooklyn, but I actually went to high school in New Canaan, Connecticut. So I was able to get out and experience a different side of life. And there is where I found the arts. And one of the things is I was like, doing high school theater and learning what it is to perform. I also was like, what are the other jobs that are happening here? Wait, so you're the director, you choreograph, you're the lighting designer, you're the sound designer. Okay, but you're the scenic designer. Okay, what does that mean? Oh, you're the props master. Oh, wait, you're the stage manager. Oh, wait, you're the producer. And so my interest kind of became like, I want to learn what all those things do. And in every production I've done in my life, I literally have spent time with each of those people on the team, just sitting with them and looking at what they do and learning how they do it. And I realized that that's the producer bug in me, like starting to like to get at me, to be like, oh, that's really what you want to do. And I am still going to act. I love acting. That's point blank. But I also think there's power in being able to control the narratives that you put out into the universe.
And I've always felt that I'm one of those people that always thinks like in order to be good at something, you need to know how to do all of it.
Yeah, you do. You do. Like actually how the lighting designer sets up his design and it reflects on me is helping the story. So I must learn and know exactly how that is adding to my performance. As an actor, when I step into something, I want to understand how all the pieces fit together and where I fit in that pie to make the whole thing delicious.
Yeah. Did you do that on Frozen? Did you like shadow Michael Grandage and Chris Moore?
I did, but I think I was a little shy on Frozen because it was like my first time with the big boys, and it's kind of like, all right, let me sit back and be a quiet observer. But I feel like more so in Hercules, I really got to dive in and really understand how all departments related. And I felt that my performance actually, I felt more proud of my performance because of that too. And then actually where I was like, oh no, I gotta do this now. I gotta produce as well.
Yeah. What did you learn from working on Hercules with a team like Lear DeBessonnet and like a cast of thousands, pretty much?
Lear DeBessonnet.
Like
if you ever watch this, Lear, I want you to know that you are a genius, and I am so grateful for you. I learned the ins and outs of really crafting a character that is indelible, that is 100% of me and of every single person on the team, trying to service that and trying to bring that to life in a new and inspiring way, because there's so much distance between the original movie. Wow, go the distance.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to use that word, but I guess that's just the word that falls out, right? There is so much distance between the original film and when we did our show, that in that time we're allowed to kind of like depart from the film and actually do our own authentic version of the show. And when you cast someone that looks like me, that is me, that has the experience of my life, it's going to be very different than what the film was intended to be. But yet somehow still have the core values. And so we were able to really, really, really individualize the experience and tailor make it to what this body and this experience in this country and this world has been.
Was it like on an acting level and like a being in the thing? Was it as fun as it looked?
Oh man, being a superhero is like the most fun experience. I was like, I want to flip, I want to jump, I want to dance, I want to do that. I was like a little like a puppy, just like running around that set. I remember the first time we got on set, the first day I was like, I want to jump on this and twist on that, and then they're like, you can't do that, and I was like, oh, well, I want to try, I want to put it in somewhere. And it was so fun. It was one of the best experiences of my life, hands down. I had a blast, you know. Who doesn't want to imagine they have superpowers that can, like, you know, lift heavy things and fight five-headed dragons and
while singing Alan Menken and Stephen Schwartz at the same time.
And singing Alan Menken and David
Tindal, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Alan, he's the man who wrote tunes that touch our hearts. You know what I mean? Yeah. He is the real deal. And to have a new song that I got to sing that was basically tailor-made for me, I mean, that you can't put a price on that. That's it. That's the goal. That's the dream.
What was it like to have Frozen be your Broadway debut? And I was like, you were in your 20s, I would imagine.
I am still in my 20s.
You're still. I remember when I was. But you must have just been like standing there, being like just blown away by the whole scope. Like, what was that like?
You know, it's crazy. There were moments where I felt like, whoa, oh my God. And there are moments I felt like, oh, I'm just doing another show. You know, it's interesting the back and forth that happens when the veil of Broadway is kind of like ripped from your eyes. You're like, oh no, it's just another show. Like, it's just, you just got to show up and do your job. But I do remember that feeling opening night of being like, holy, I'm on Broadway. You know what I mean? It's just like, this is insane. And even now, now that we have Broadway is kind of shut down and on hold, it's like, whoa, I really took for granted that time. I really took for granted the fact that I was on a Broadway stage leading a Broadway show with an incredible company of actors, with an incredible company producing it. In a story that so many people around the world know and love. Like, I didn't really soak that in. You know, it's kind of, and also, you know, in a way you're not allowed to soak that in because you're like, if I think about that too much right now, I can't actually do my job. So let me just like, this is just another show, do your job, do it well, and move on. But and then, you know, for me, I was very emotional the show I left.
I'll bet.
And Lin-Manuel Miranda actually came to see that.
Really?
And he was like, I wonder why you were crying. And I was like, yeah, it was it was emotional, you know, because you make a family in that Broadway house.
Yeah.
And those people were all such incredible people that showing up into that building and just experiencing the day with those people was worth it.
I want to go back to Dumont Millennial Production. And I want to talk a little. So the reading is free. It's on YouTube Thursday, 27th at 7 o'clock.
And it's in benefit of the National Black Theater.
That's what I want to get to because we love the National Black Theater here.
Yeah.
At the work of Dr. Barbara Ann Tier. So I want to talk about them with you and like what they mean to you as a company and
So MBT for me, it's one of the institutions for theater that is run by a Black woman, was founded by a Black woman, run by Black people, telling Black stories, uplift the work that we, for in the past couple months, have now gotten buzzy about, right?
Yeah.
Work that we're all of a sudden like, that's what we put forward. They've always been doing that work. This organization has always been about that. And so for me, it was a chance to uplift them, a chance to give back to them, to say thank you to them for that work. And that for me is why I zeroed in on MBT. Because if you look at the projects of the history of the shows that they have produced, they are the ones, putting forward Black narratives that aren't mainstream, that aren't, they're not popularized yet. They're really strong, powerful pieces that people should know about, that people should see, that people should experience. And so if people can donate to NBT, please give of your heart, because this institution needs to survive this pandemic. And I believe that when we come out, it will be on the forefront of producing the stories that we need to see, that we need to experience. And so that's why I chose MBT.
It's a great company.
Yeah, truly.
Are you the kind of like producer, do you find yourself thinking, all right, we're in the middle of project 1, I got to start thinking about project number 2 and project number 3 now?
Try project 5 and 6. You know what I mean? It's like my head is like so like 3 years basically into the future. And so I'm working on I'm also writing. So that's also, I've also written a pilot about my high school experience. It's called The Gifted Path is the name of the show. And so we're trying to sell that and get that out there right now.
Very cool.
And also I'm writing an adaptation of Hamlet.
Really?
Yeah. It's one of the characters that I've always been dying to play. And I personally believe the Black queer man experience in America is Hamlet's experience. And so I'm wanting to parallel that a lot. And let's see what else is happening. There's a great video game named Pajama Sam. Do you remember that game?
No.
It's kind of like a cult classic. I'm wanting to, I'm sorry?
I'm going to look it up right after this.
Yeah. I'm wanting to adapt it into a children's musical.
Oh, very awesome.
And so we're chasing the rights for that now, but I think that it would be an amazing project. It's about inside of fear and darkness, we can find endless possibility and hope. And I think that children especially need that message right now. Yeah. And I would love to bring that show to life.
That'd be great.
Yeah. So these are all the things that work at Dumont Millennial Productions.
Yeah. I'm glad you're taking this time when so many people are just like completely uninspired and just can't bring themselves to do anything, to be thinking about the future.
Let's be real. In the beginning of this, I was completely uninspired, completely broken, completely couldn't leave my couch at all. It actually was, I did this this writing competition on my Instagram to get young kids, doing something. That's when we all thought it was going to be 2 or 3 months, right? And so they actually got me off the couch. They inspired me. They sent like about 53 pieces. I asked to write 10-minute pieces, and I selected the top 5. And I basically produced them via Zoom reading for them to see them brought to life with Broadway actors.
So cool.
And that was the beginning of me being like, okay, I found my inspiration. It's not about me.
Yeah.
It's not about me. It's about them. It's about the larger them. How can I be of service?
Yeah.
And so that's what got me off the couch. And don't get me wrong, the couch, if you have to be there and that's where you have to be to get through this, that's okay too. I want people to know that. Like, that is okay, because there's no rules, there's no guidelines to surviving a pandemic. No. There is none. Whatever services you. And for me, what is a constant reminder of me, of my artistry and what I want to be doing, is to be of service to the greater community. And so that's why I wanted to take it upon myself to run with this when I have the time to do this. When normally you'd be running from project to project to project, this is like, okay, let me actually stop, realize, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? Can it help others? And if it's not, then I don't want to do it right now.
Yeah.
because I'm fortunate that I have everything that I need. And there are so many out there who need to be uplifted. And so I hope to give and uplift others.
I'm glad you're doing that, and I think that is a very fitting place to end.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I so appreciate your time.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me. And
My
thank you
pleasure.
to all the Theater Mania fans out there. Theater will come back. We will, you know what I mean? In time. It'll be.
I was going to say, give us one last plug for the reading. Tell us where to find it. And
Yes. So you're going to find the reading on YouTube. It's going to be on Dumont Millennial Productions YouTube channel. It's going to YouTube premiere this Thursday, 7 p.m., the eve of the March on Washington, which I will be attending, which you'll hear more about that. But I do believe Goodnight Tyler will be an amazing piece for so many, and it's in benefit of the National Black Theater. So please donate and also watch and share and donate again and be touched and be healed.
Jelani, you, sir, are an inspiration. Thank you, as always, for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day.
My pleasure. You too. Take care.
Bye.
And thank everybody for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.